Oh, hello and welcome to this episode of Meet the Goddess. I am absolutely excited to introduce today Jasmine Alicia Carter. She is a menstrual artist and a feminine empowerment mentor and activist. Jasmine has been drawing with her period blood since 2016, a sacred art and ritual that has changed her life and the life of so many women around the globe, creating a movement, the menstrual art movement. And she is completely devoted to empowering women to heal and reclaim their true feminine nature through embracing their menstrual cycle and sexuality, which is such wonderful and important work. And she also is the owner of Sacress Shop, which is a magical boutique where she offers luxurious and powerful tools for your deep feminine empowerment journey. So, welcome, Jasmine. I am really happy to have you here today with
Thank
us.
you so much. It's an honor and a gift every time to be able to show up and just share all this knowledge because it is so needed in these times. So thank you for hosting me.
Yes, it is. It is so needed. So before we dive into that a little bit more, just for the listeners that mightn't know you yet, if you can give us a little introduction about yourself, how your journey and how you got to do this work.
Okay, so I began, we could say, my first initiation into womanhood actually happened with period blood painting. So it was a very important moment of my life. Okay, so it's now 5 years ago, wow. And it was during a ceremony, we could say, with a plant, the sacred plant. I don't know if many know about ayahuasca, but it was just like an expansive, we could say, moment in which I was on my period. It was on my period. And I really had outrageous, horrible experiences with my period back then. And through this experience, it finally just opened my eyes. It just like removed the veil of ignorance, of confusion, of rejection that I had around period. And I just saw everything for what it was going on in my body, what was going on in my emotions, what was going on at my spiritual level. Like everything was being included inside this experience of period. And I had no idea. It was just like, oh, it was so overwhelming. It was so bright. It was so beautiful. Beautiful was the key word, I could say. It was just all so beautiful and also magic and also deep. And I was just saying, wow, I mean, how did I miss on all this? Why didn't anyone never tell me about this? Why didn't anyone tell me that in my womb and in this blood, there is everything that I was longing for? I was always chasing so many things outside and spiritual paths and material things just to fill up a void that I had inside of me all along. So it was just like so eye-opening. And when I started painting with my blood, I could say that act of reclamation, because it was literally an act of reclaiming that blood as something sacred and beautiful and something that I was a practice of self-love, magically all the doors began to open in my life. So I was introduced into the world of tantra, of sacred sexuality, and all the beautiful things that regard the feminine divine, the feminine goddess, everything that is regarding femininity, the feminine essence, we could say, and how she manifests and how we can come back to embody her fully in this world. So it's been gift on gift and gift and blessings until I just decided to share my journey while I was walking the path. And eventually I got where I am today. And I started hosting workshops and I was just sharing everything that came through. And then I came across very authentic, we could say, traditions and lineages and teachings from lineages that are very antique, from Taoism and Tibetan Buddhism, Tantra, and all these have been integral, fundamental aspects of coming back to myself, coming back to my nature, embodying the true nature of who we are, which is very simple. It's very, very simple. And it's always so remarkable to see you say, you just shed layers of conditioning, shed layers of ideas that you had about femininity and how you are, and about sex and about taboos. And then the more you shed, the more you come to the state in which you say, oh my God, I mean, how is this so, it's so simple. How could I forget this? How could I forget this? And this is like the same phrase that all the people always tell me, you know, I said, you make it look so simple, it's so natural, it's so beautiful. I said, yes, because this is for everyone. We are that. We are that. We're made to be here and live at our full capacity, completely open, with our legs open, our heart open, everything open, and receiving life and giving life. And it's just so beautiful. So this is a little bit of me.
Oh, it's so wonderful. I'm receiving that. It's just, yeah. And one thing you mentioned in all of that is that we have not been told.
Nothing.
And going back, even I remember my own experience with my first cycle. I was brought to hospital with it.
Oh, wow.
As I was in pain, and they thought it could have been something else. And so instead of being the wonderful transition, that wonderful initiation that is meant to be, it became something quite shocking. And then from there, that disconnection, and I know that from talking with women, this is something that many experience. There is a disconnection with that. But I've heard you saying and explaining within your wonderful workshops and posts and stuff that this disconnection then has a lot of effects on our physical body and on our emotionality. And so if you could just address that, talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Yes. So basically, yes, as you said, it's disconnection. It's all about disconnection. When we are living from a disconnected place, we are living halfway, we could say. And this means, I mean, it's very simple, because we are not taught to listen to the wisdom that is absolutely inherent in our bodies. So it's like something foreign. Whatever happens in our bodies, we absolutely don't know what it's about. This is why the first thing that I always say is know your body, know what happens inside of your body, especially in your genitals, especially there, because it's the powerhouse. It's exactly where all our vital energy comes from. We are born from that. You cannot live in this world without including your genitals in your life, because every time, and also when women refer to their vaginas, they're like, something down there, something that is so far away, but it's down there. It's here. It's here. Include it, please, inside of yourself. But of course, we live in a society that deems, that wants us to cut that part from ourselves, because they know how powerful we can be. How powerful we can be when we come back to nature, when we come back to knowing who we really are. They're not able to control us. I don't know who is they, actually, if we want to go. It's the game. We could say it's the game of life, of forgetting who we are and coming back to remember, we could say. But if we don't listen to the wisdom of our bodies, we are literally living, just letting days pass by. Things are happening to us, but we don't have the power to change what we can change. We just live from our heads, we could say. And there's always something, we're just like in midair, and yeah, we have a lot of thoughts, but we're not acting upon them. Nothing is concrete. It's just like we're in this sort of fog, we could say. Or maybe this was my experience. Days were passing by, and I was always asking, but isn't there more? I mean, I have this feeling that there is more in this life. Why? Maybe we also go to spiritual paths. Maybe we realize, okay, we get those questions of big questions of who we are and what we're doing here and what is ego resolved. But again, we're not living. It's like we have this contraction still inside of our bodies, in which we still have, you're holding back, or we're afraid to show up in a certain way, or we react in a certain way with intensity. It's just like our bodies are not responding. because our bodies contain so much trauma and contractions from when we were born. And this is something that is so vitally important, because I'm seeing, as I'm growing my child, because I have a son, and I just see he has a nanny. And I just saw my nanny once, she was changing his diaper and he was touching his penis. And as he was touching it, she immediately just moved his hand and said, no, 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 don't touch there. No, 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 don't do that. And I was shocked. I was like, why would you say that? Why would you say that? And it starts when we are so little. So we continue to grow up with all these ideas of, no, don't touch there, don't touch there, don't touch there. And we grow up that with this feeling that our genitals are not a place that we should be paying attention to. And that's when the disconnection begins, you know? And it's so, children are so naturally erotic, and that is exactly where we want to go back to. It's like our inner child is being completely broken. Yeah. And so part of the work is always to, if you want to work with your sexuality, if you want to work back in becoming an integrated human being again, you have to go back into your childhood. Not trying to remember what happened, but nurturing that inner child again, nurturing that inner inherent eroticism that is always within you, because it's there. It's not that it's lost. It's not that it's forgotten or it's impossible to retrieve. It's there, but it's just like, it's hidden. It's hidden, and it's afraid to show up, because they never taught us how to do that. We don't feel safe to manifest that part of ourselves again, which is the most beautiful part. It's like this, it's like, it moves me every time when you see a person that is fully embodied and fully open and has accepted her sexuality. It's just like so beautiful, so magnetic, so beautiful. And that takes all aspects of ourselves, body, emotions, mind. So when you're disconnected from your genitals, again, you're living halfway. You don't know that your vagina permeates your thoughts, permeates your actions, permeates everything, or the penis in this sense, we could say sexuality in whole. So it's so important to, like, literally just pay attention to them. Pay attention to them. Continue to bring your mind back to that. It's like, instead of your mind projecting outwards every time, you're just like breathing in. You're just breathing in and going down to your genitals. And your mind has to go from your genitals. Like literally, I think that my yoni is my mind right now. I wouldn't do anything without talking to my yoni. Like, okay, what do you feel? Is this okay? Is this person okay? Is this situation okay for you? If I feel a contraction or if she's dry, it's a no. It's a no. If I'm not absolutely open and wet, it's a no for me. So it's so simple for me because I've did so much work, and it's like so direct. I can hear her voice. It's a silent whisper that it's always there, present inside of me, you know? So this is my invitation to really come back to this space, because it's so beautiful, so safe, so,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love what you're saying about the having looked outside all the time, and I have seen my own personal experience, and I have also seen it with women I've been working with. We're looking, and we do a lot of different practices, a lot of meditations, a lot of techniques, and yet we don't realize, I haven't realized for such a long time, that I was leaving out this part of my body. Like the rest was just not lived in. And yet everything is here. And I remember coming in touch with some meditation practices, and it was all about forgetting the body and transcending the body and going someplace else. And I was like, but I don't want to do that. This doesn't feel right. But that's something wrong with me then, because that is the practice. So that is good. And I am the one that is broken because I can't transcend this body.
Yes. And the woman body is actually made to receive pleasure, to be in the body, because our wisdom is within our bodies. Our bodies are biologically made to have wisdom within our bodies. Like, that's the feminine principle. Feminine principle is earth, is groundness, is being here, right now. Okay, the masculine is the sun, is the light, is transcending. We need both of those. We do need both of those. But when we go into spirituality, maybe we find every school wants to be the ultimate truth. That is wrong, because they say, okay, you come here, so the ultimate truth is that you have to transcend everything. But it's not the ultimate truth. Be aware of the people who say be the ultimate truth. Be aware of those. Because it's not true. We need both of those. Of course, we live now in all our life is extremely masculine. Everything is masculine oriented. Everything, every single thing that you get is masculine oriented. But the feminine is everything that lies beyond that. Is everything, is the significance that the logical mind cannot absolutely grasp. It's all about intuition. It's eroticness. It's the sexuality. It's all the taboos. It's everything that has always been hidden. It's the darkness. It's those places that we fear to go in, because in that darkness, you don't know. There's mystery. People are afraid of mystery. People are afraid of just letting go those parts of themselves, the ego, you can say. You get lost in that. You say, oh my God, but I'm going to lose myself. Who am I? Who I'm going to be if I let go and I just expand into that. And that's actually our ability to intake pleasure. Many people don't have orgasm because they're always like this. It's like everything contracted and their face is contracted and their bodies are contracted, and it's just like this. It's almost like something that you want to get rid of easily, fast, It's like, okay, I'm having this, and then you have the orgasm, and then you're like, finally, I got rid of that. This is how our bodies react, Maybe in our minds it's not that, but this is how our bodies react to this. But an invitation is the opposite, is to just like crack yourself open up, and arch your back, arch your head, just be open, available, open everything, just breathe. Open. That's life. When you do that, you're like, you're welcoming everything. You become so fucking powerful. So powerful, so magnetic. Because the person that just opens up to this moment is open to life. And believe me, this is the secret to have everything that you most desire. Because literally, you open your legs and you're opening, like your yoni is the receiver. We're the ones who want, give me, and I want more. That's the feminine. We want more. And it's right. It's who we are. We can't deny that. So when you open, you're receiving in your yoni, you're receiving the penis, you're receiving money, you're receiving happiness, you're receiving everything that you most desire. You are receiving also you could say everything that is intense, the intensity of life, everything that the death, the illness, the things that you don't like, the things that you don't want. Well, especially in those moments that we are contracting, orgasm says open to that too. Open your legs, open everything, and receive that. Receive it. Become quiet. It's wild. It becomes so potent. It's so alive. This is orgasm. It's so different. Sexuality. We have such a distorted idea of what sexuality is, because it's really not what we think of. It's just energy. It's the most potent energy, but it's just energy. And when we just tap into that space, because being erotic is tapping into a frequency, we could say. It's tapping into a space that, I repeat, it's already within ourselves. We're just like opening to life. For me, sexuality is life. Eroticism is life. It's just life. A way to live a good life, an empowered life.
Yeah, it's so connected to everything that we create as well. Like our creative energy and sexual energy are so the same thing. I it's so amazing just talking to you and listening. It's like I already like, whoa, I'm like, I
I'm
can
gonna go
barely
outside.
feel it. Yeah.
And I'm gonna eat the mud and just like, yes.
And the my personal experience, and it was quite shocking in a way for me to see how that was just, I was really not alone in this experience. Has been completely disconnected. And I heard it in one of the episodes of your podcast where you actually said to go and inhabit your vagina, like to actually live in it, and how we dissociate from a part of our body so much. And I have definitely experienced that, and it's such a journey to go back. It doesn't just happen. I mean, for me, it has been, and it still is, a journey that I'm going through. And for a very long time, I thought that sexual abuse that I have suffered was actually the root cause of this disconnection and dissociation. Where the more I look into it, I'm actually going back even before, I think, because the sexual abuse happened, I was about 12 or 13. So that was nearly like a consequence for me personally in my journey of the disconnection that had already happened when I was a child. As you are also mentioning, people telling you not to touch yourself, it's dirty, you should not put your hands there. And then all that starts, the female body is just a tool for pleasures to others, but is dirty and is to be kept hidden. I've had all of that within my childhood, and I know many women have that. So I found personally that it hasn't been an easy journey. There's moments where it's really, really challenging. And I would like to hear you speak about that. How can we get from this total closure? I know I've been so close, so contracted. I really recognize that when you speak to that, to actually feeling safe to open.
Yes, it's all about safety. It's really about safety. The feminine can truly express herself fully, unapologetically, only if she feels safe to do so. Only when she feels safe. And now, more than ever, it is important to find that safety within yourself. And this is when I speak about the marriage between feminine and masculine energy within ourselves. Because the masculine is we could say the ultimate masculine is the provider of safety for us. If we look at the archetype of the masculine, is always the one who goes out and works and provides shelter and provides everything that the feminine needs in order for her to express herself and be the carer, the nurturer, we could say. Of course, there are so many different shades of this, but ultimately this is how nature, we could say, works. We have masculine and feminine energies within ourselves. So that safety is not something that we can ever ask anyone else to give to ourselves, but we can only give it to ourselves. It's from us. We need to be the ones who are holding that part of us, that we could say inner child, or that inner feminine of ours that really wants to come out, and just hold her and say, it is safe for you to come out. It is safe for you to come out. And even just say it as a mantra, it is safe for you to come out. It is safe for you to feel what you are feeling right now. It is safe for you to really express what you really feel in your heart right now. Whatever the situation, maybe you have something important that you would like to say to your spouse, or to in a relationship, or to a friend, but we're feeling blocked. There's so many blockages also in our voice. In the woman, working with the voice is so potent. So to just come to this space in which you breathe in and you just relax your nervous system and say, it is safe. It is safe for me to express. It is safe for me to be myself. Because in the end, if you want to ultimately know, there's no one out there. There's no one. It's just you and God. Literally, just you and the divine in every single situation. And every person, in every situation, and every experience that happens to you is just there to make you learn something new about yourself. It's always a new opportunity to be met in different aspects of yourself. So if you come from that integrity, you could say, of knowing that you are safe, you're held because you have yourself, you're not dying. But even death, the experience of death is beautiful, you could say. We pass so many deaths in our life, but we don't recognize that actually that is the death. There's nothing to be afraid of. So if we can manage to hold that, we can manage to hold everything, anything, any situation in this life, because we are held. Even and especially in the most difficult moments, when everything is crumbling down, when something intense is happening and you don't know where to go, or you lose your child, or you lose a family member, or you have a breakup, or someone you love dies, those intense moments. And of course, I mean, it's not that everything is going to be roses and flowers and it's so beautiful, but actually that is life, that the capacity we have to be with that, to be fully 100% inside of that, and not running away, not shining away, not just throwing our emotions under the rug or hiding in the closet. No, we're there for experiencing the whole full spectrum of being human beings. And that expression is unique to every single person. It will manifest in so many different ways. But the thing is, like, are you acting from a place of fear or a place of I need to protect myself from something? Or are you acting from a place of, okay, no, life, I'm open for this. I'm going to suffer like hell. I am going to scream like a hyena. I am going to, if I have someone or something underneath me, I could just like crush it. I'm going to be angry as hell, but I am here for that. I'm showing up. This is me. I'm not afraid. Okay, so it's two different, it's the same thing, but it's two different aspects. So when intensity comes, and it will come, because especially when you come to spiritual practice, you are saying, okay, spiritual means I want to merge with the divine again. I want to know about myself. I want to come back home to myself. Okay, so be ready for shit. Be ready for a lot. Be ready for so much. Like bottles and bottles and bottles and oceans of shit. Because that is it.
Yeah.
You learn to navigate into that darkness forever.
Yes.
And then ultimately you will see that that darkness is just full of light, but you have to be willing to go there and just release all those ideas of who you are and what you thought you were and everything. Just, there are ideas. When they come back to your body. This is always my invitation. Come back to your body in every single moment. When there is pleasure, when there is pain, when there is anger, when there is worry, when there is anything, come back to your body. Feel your body. How is it reacting right now? And you will always see that there is a contraction. And it's a never-ending journey. It's a never-ending journey. Because even if I today inhabit my yoni, I can say 100% I inhabit my yoni. It's always a never-ending process. Because sometimes there are some moments in which I had a period, I'm stressed, my son is stressing me out and I'm tired and I want to go to bed and my body's contracting. So I need to come back to her and say, okay, and I just relax those parts and I come back to myself and I just open and say, okay, I'm centered again. That is the practice. That is the practice. That is the spiritual practice. It's the tools that you have available to come back to yourself again. That is the game. That's the game of life. You get lost a bit and then you come back, and then you get lost a bit and then you come back, and it's always learning. It's a learning process. It's life, how we experience life in this world.
Yeah, I had someone recently asking me, but if I do this work with you, like, will I be happy then? Like, like I'm gonna get someplace and then that's it. Like, as a destination and then it's done. I can rest now. And it's like, doesn't work that way. It's always, and you can always go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. There's layers and layers and layers. And that's the beauty of it. I think we would get so bored if we actually just got to a destination and then what? What do we do now? That's it. Yeah, I love this. I really love this because it is my passion. The fullness of it, and that there's more to this life, and I chose to be here. And so I chose to be here to experience the entirety of it. And then there's this programming that we receive since we're born that tries to make us all the same and fit into this box, this container that is just so small and tight. And no, outside. more,
expand, open. Feminine is infinite. The world is infinite. Life is infinite. Like the best, one of the thoughts that I love to just hijack my mind is just thinking about the universe. Just like watching the stars. You could see all that vastness, and then you just like and then you remember that there's the galaxy and there's the supernovas and there's so much, and then you're just this, but you're also all that. And my mind just goes just explodes, because it just remembers, wow. I mean, and I really, really, really think sometimes that I have everything figured out. Like, wow, bravo.
Oh, that's
Nada.
Nah. Not even close.
Not even close.
Yeah, I can definitely. I get that. I want to speak about the menstrual blood for a moment, because it is so key to us. I mean, it's such a part of us. I only recently bought a menstrual cup, and it has been something that I have wanted to do for a very long time. But that disconnection, there was such a fear connected to actually doing that and using it. So it has been a journey, and it has been quite amazing to actually really, for the first time, come into contact with my own blood and actually start seeing it. And your work has been the final kick for me. Is like, okay, I have to do this. I saw your drawings, I saw your art, I was like, yeah, I really have to go with this. And also the fact that my eldest daughter is beginning her journey. She started a few months ago in this journey. And she was also such an inspiration, as she just free bleeds. She just lives it in such a way, and it's so much a part of her. It's like, wow, like I really want to connect with this. But it has been quite an interesting journey. As you say, there's so many ideas, so many concepts. As dirty is bad, is something that should be thrown. And although I had done a lot of work on that already with mystery schools and stuff, we still have that. It's kind of there, isn't it?
It's as there's so much light, there's also so much darkness. And I would say that when we go to the menstrual phase and the bleeding phase, we tap into the space where all the women of the world, all the women before us, all our ancestors, everything, all that collective pain goes there. Like, we can literally feel the pain of everyone. It's never ours, I could say. Everything that ever happens to us, especially during bleeding, because I think bleeding, in my experience, I've seen as one of the most taboo topics more than sexuality, like bleeding, to bleed, is, I could say, the most horrible taboo that exists in the world right now. So our blood for so many centuries has been contaminated by all these thoughts, all these ideas, all these restrictions, all this, that is toxic, that it's waste, that it can kill people, that it can kill animals, it can kill crops, it is witchery, it is like all these ideas. And still today, in so many countries, in Africa and India, those women cannot sleep with their spouses, they cannot cook, they cannot go in their temples. They say, I think in Malaysia, I remember they said that they grow up with these stories told by their grandmothers that when you bleed, you have to dispose of your blood as soon as possible, or else there will be this white witch. I don't remember her name, but a very gruesome, horrible lady that would come and eat you.
Oh my God.
Like, these are the stories that have been telling people. And of course, it's so ingrained within our blood. It's so, so difficult. It's so, so difficult. And I think that is also part, stay with me, of the blessing, we could say, of being able to really embrace the full spectrum of life and the full spectrum of emotions. Because if we want to go to the essence of things, then again, there is no good, there is no bad. There's no good, there's no bad. If you release the ideas, you see that everything is just energy.
Yes.
And if you see everything as energy, you will see that there is, instead of negativity, you could say there is intensity. And that intensity has the same feeling, sensation of, you could say, pleasure. Pain and pleasure, pain and pleasure. They're the same. Good and bad, they're the same. So everything, you come back to that, you come back to that. So my invitation, when it's a journey, as you said, you know, it's a never-ending journey. When you could see your blood, there's so many women telling me, oh my God, like I just bought a menstrual cup, and this was already, just buying a menstrual cup was just already the biggest step you can do. Okay, next step, putting the menstrual cup inside of the vagina. Oh my gosh. Insane. Okay, no, does it get lost? Does it get lost inside of my vagina? Like, no, it doesn't get lost inside of your vagina. Okay. Then you see, get the blood. I mean, there's so many different shades of conditioning and intensity of intensity. So everything really depends on how capable you are of sitting with intensity. Your capacity to sit with intensity. And I repeat, there's no good, there's no bad way of doing it. There is no right way and there's no wrong way. It is unique for your journey. And what I say is that where there's intensity, of course, there's a lot of the energetics of all the collective that is coming there. It's not your burden. It's not you. It's about everyone. It's really about everyone, because everyone in that moment are having the same ideas that you're having right in that moment, that same feeling, that same energetic. And when you release that, you're releasing for everyone. And it's so beautiful to go there in that space and having this insight, these insights, and this connecting to this space, connecting to this truth that we are all really interconnected. And blood, damn it, remembers that. It reminds us of that, because we are all born through that blood. We wouldn't be here if not for that blood, men and women alike. If there is no blood, there is no birth. Blood runs through our veins. And what makes us here, human. You cannot deny that. If you deny that, you're denying humanity. You're denying yourself. So it's always about you. It's always about you, but you in the sense, you inwards, meaning everything. Okay.
Yes. It's such a freeing concept when we feel and realize that there's no right and wrong.
Yes.
And because it's always about, we've been told this is right and this is wrong in everything. You know, like the most ridiculous things of how you eat. There's a right way to eat and a wrong way to eat. How you sit at the table, how you speak, how you everything has these rules of right or wrong since you're a kid. And where you get to the point where actually there is no right or wrong. What I'm feeling, where I am, even in the depths, as you said, of the strongest intensity of challenging emotions, there's nothing wrong. You're just experiencing. It's freedom.
Yes.
Really.
Yes. That is. I remember I wrote a beautiful piece of a book. I just had this download and I remember this piece that it said that if you are able to embrace all of life, able to perceive all of that, you can literally change the tides. You can make thunderstorms come in. You can make it rain. You can make fire. You can make like magic. Like you can compromise the hijack, you could say, how things work, because you're able to command, you could say, your life, because you're able to in sort of way flow with your emotions. Really, you know. So when you embrace the full spectrum of who you are, you can really I'm gonna call it a thunderstorm. When you feel that intensity, you're like then a thunderstorm comes. And I'm saying this because it happened, because I've always had a very high level of sexual energy. I was over sexual in my life. I was over sexual. I had too much energy and I couldn't control it. And I was together with an ex-boyfriend who also had the same amount of sexual energy. So when we came together and we were like fighting, or there was these moments of like super intensity and fire, and we would just put everything inside. Once it really happened that we were outside in the garden, we were fighting like anything. And then at some point, it was sunny outside. And at some point, thunderstorm came. So we were like yelling in the middle of this thunderstorm, and it was like raining. They were like, "Wah!" And at that moment, I remember I felt like a god. I literally felt like a god. And that anger and that, like, I wanted to kill him. There was like all of those powerful emotions together. It was like, wow. And I said, whoa, I mean, this is intense. And then when we just calmed down and we got that out of our system, and then we talked, and then everything was okay again, the sun came out. So it was just like, okay, like this is the power we have.
Yeah.
This is the power we have.
Yeah. I really hear that. It's like I have my little one, she's only 6, and like she will do that. She will like move in a way that she's like, Mommy, I'm harnessing all this power, and then I'm gonna transform into a dragon, or I'm just gonna move the ocean, and like, yeah, oh yeah, I get that. I really get that. Like I've always done everything possible to just say, yeah, absolutely, I really get that. And they're like teaching me back that goddess, God power, we really have that within. It's really there.
Really there. Yes. Beautiful.
What else wants to come true? So the invitation of reconnecting with that intensity, and how our menstrual cycle naturally actually brings us to connect with that intensity in the different phases of it. Because something very powerful also that you teach, and that I've listened you talk about, is that we are so focused on the bleeding part of our cycle, but actually there's like 4 phases, and they're all so important.
Absolutely. Yes, there's so much to say about this. I'm actually going to host an entire workshop on it. So we have 4 different phases, we could say, but of course these are like, it's a way to sort of understand better the different phases, like the seasons, we could say. No, there's never an truly a beginning point or an ending point. It's just a cycle. It's a flow. It's a constant. But if we want to really describe these phases, we could say we have these four phases, we could say, in which we can categorize these different aspects that we have within ourselves. And two of these, which is the bleeding phase and the part before the bleeding phase, which is the premenstrual phase, we could say, the luteal phase, are the most intense phases for a woman. And are the most demonized, we can say, and the most misunderstood, because they are the ugly side, we could say, the more intense side, in which we can become bitchy and we become more intense and we want more truth, and we're not putting the pretty face all the time, and we just want to not take care of ourselves. There's so much, because our hormones are going down, and of course there are biologically some things that are happening within ourselves, so we're also incarnating a different aspect of ourselves. And then there is like the ovulation and follicular phase, which are the most enjoyable phases, we can say, because the hormones all are high and we feel more sexually open and available. We feel more open, we feel more sociable, we feel more easygoing and more organized. We're working better. There's so many things happening there, you know? So also paying attention to these 4 different phases is fundamental for a woman to actually understand how, okay, she works, but also how to organize her life, how to organize her work, if you know that, and literally just live in her own flow, in her own terms. And it's much different than the masculine, because men have testosterone as main hormone, and it just goes up in the morning and it just slowly descends until you go to bed at night. So it's just like this one line. It's very direct. So you go to work and then you go to bed. Very simple, very simple. And everyone expects that we're like that, but we don't work that way. We just go like this. We go up and down, and we have ebbs and flows, and there's so much. So it's so important that a woman really comes back to knowing her different phases. So vitally important. But there's really so much to say about this.
Oh yeah, I know we could stay here.
The time is.
I know we could stay here for the entire day. This is such a key point.
It's so important.
Remember that we're cyclical and not linear, and
exactly,
we just can't box ourselves into be linear and perform the same way all the time.
All the time.
It's just impossible. So I know that you have brought up a practice for us to offer us. So maybe this is a good time to just
time.
share that.
Okay. So we'll just begin breathing deep into our bellies. We can just close our eyes and focus inwards. And exhale with an audible ah. And it's just time to drop deep into the sensations that we feel. Just close. Just drop in deep. It's time to get really, really, really comfortable. Time to get really, really soft. Time to get really, really relaxed into erotic expression in your body, right here and right now. You may just relax your shoulders, relax your head, relax your eyes, relax your tongue. Simply open your mouth a little bit, bring that erotic energy within. You could just soften, just move also your body as you want to, as it wants you to move. It's time to simply open up yourself to bliss. And remember, no one will ever give you this permission. It is truly your permission only to get here in this space, to truly reclaim this space as yours. You're the only person that can really make this safety, that can create this safety to express your seduction, express your warmth, express your softness. You can even say it now. You can say it. It's safe to show up as myself. It is safe to show up as myself. Take another deep belly breath. Use your hands and touch your belly, touch your womb space, touch your legs. Like if you're spreading that energy all over your body. From your womb space, you're just spreading the energy all over your body, through your legs, your thighs. Bring in that eroticness. Take another deep belly breath and breathe all the way into your yoni. And exhale. Just release all those tensions, all those stories that are holding you back from shining right here and right now. Now the invitation is, instead of trying to feel sexy, which is something that of course we know that we want and we want to get there, but the invitation is really to just relax now and feel in what is there. If you're feeling grief, if you're feeling tenderness, if you're feeling sensitivity or bliss or love or anger or numbness, anything, just notice what is there. Just let it be and relax into it. And take a big breath into it right now. Breathe deep and exhale. Release any tension that your body may have of that specific emotion, of your mind. Release expectations of how it should or not be. Just take this deep, honored breath into whatever is present right now. And exhale, release. Just release, 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 release the resistance to yourself as you are. Because ultimately, true pleasure, the depth of sexiness, the authentic, erotic expression truly is born from the acknowledgement and presence to what is right now. And now that you are here into this space, just visualize, call in your highest self. I want you to feel her right now. I want you to see her. How is she? How does she move? How does she walk? How does she dress? How does she feel? Call her in and let her be your guide. And let her drop slowly into you right now. Let her come in, invite her as if she were the long lost lover. Let her truly merge into you and become one again with her. Because this is her deepest desire. She wants to be one with you. She wants to be expressed through you. She wants to make love through you. So bring this energy, indulge into yourself. Touch your body. Maybe touch your lips. Open your chest, open your heart. Let your hair fall. Lean your head in the back. Let this erotic energy overwhelm you in all passion and ecstasy. And soften, really soften into this space. Trust the source. Trust this pleasure, because this is what will take you into the depths of existence. As a turned on woman is such a powerful woman. She can truly make a difference into this world. You women are here to make that difference. If you turn yourself on with whatever is present in every single moment, you will truly become a magnet to attract what you most desire. Move, breathe, and feel it all. Now inhale from your yoni and bring that energy up to your heart. And exhale, and again inhale, bring the energy from your yoni. Suck in your perineum. Squeeze those muscles from your yoni and bring that all up in all your body. And exhale, soften all the muscles and spread that beauty that you are out into this world. Inhale and breathe in abundance. And exhale, loosen the muscles. Just feel yourself so open to receive anything that is here right now. Remember to let your belly soften. There is no need ever to suck in or hold onto anything. Send love to yourself right now, right here. And say it in a seductive way. You can say, I love my body as I am today. I love my body as I am today. Just indulge into this space. You just move, let your body move. Just feel yourself as being moved by something greater. Enjoy the sensations. And watch yourself. Be the witness of yourself in this space. Remember that this is your power. This is your roadmap. This is your way back home. Whenever you feel ready, you can open your eyes. And bring the sensation always with you. Never make this meditation end.
Yeah. Yummy, really yummy, and there's really no wanting to end this.
Yeah. Make it end.
Wow. So delicious and so full.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for that. That was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. Such a joy.
So we have a few minutes left, and I just wanna, say first of all, thank you for being here and speaking with us, as this was really a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful episode, and there's so much packed into this, so much. And I know for everyone watching this and listening that we've touched on a lot of but not little, a lot of big things, very big things. And we just went briefly on everything. My intention was to give an overall on such a deep topic that is so, so important for everyone. So I'm sure you all want to deepen this work. And so I'm going to have in the description all the ways that you can contact and Jasmine and see her work, see what she offers, and work deeper with her if you feel called to that. Also, Jasmine was so lovely to give a discount code for her shop for Sacress. So that is also going to be in the description. You're going to find all the details of that there. And Jasmine, I want to give it back to you if there's anything else that feels like wants to come up before we close that you want to say.
What is alive for me in my yoni right now? I believe that a truly activated woman, an embodied woman, is a living prayer in this world. So much grace to witness in that, and it's truly healing to witness, and it's so beautiful. I live for this. I truly wake up every morning and I wish that every single person, every single woman or man recognizes her inner feminine, truly recognizes and is willing to stay with her, is willing to be with her and willing to listen to her in every moment to bring back this grace into this world. Because I live for seeing wild and enlivened people. It is just so beautiful. It's so yummy. It's so it's so fulfilling. It is so deeply fulfilling. And so this is the prayer that I aspire and sending out to anyone who is watching or anyone who is not, and every single place in this world where is lacking of this kind of understanding, that may this seed be planted within anyone and everyone, and may it simply bloom and manifest in its highest splendor, to bring back this paradise on earth.
Yes, that's one way to close. Thank you very much.
Thank you, beautiful. It's been an honor to be here. It's been an honor.
Thank you, everyone, for watching this and for sharing this space with us. And we'll see you on the next episode. Bye. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more. Join our growing international sisterhood at Free to Be a Goddess on Facebook. Join a tribe of women free to be their beautiful, wild and sacred selves, safe and supported. Find the link in the description.